Kuzambo and a warm welcome to Bhutan e-learning project. Today's lesson is on Key Stage 3 for classes 7 and 8 with the topic letter writing. I am Sangatenzin with the lesson. Let's see the lesson objectives. We shall be able to write formal and informal letters following correct formats. We shall be able to identify the differences between formal and informal letter. Now, what is a letter, my dear children? What do you think is a letter? A letter is a written or printed communication directed to a person or an organization to convey messages. A letter is a written or printed communication. You may write it in a piece of paper in your exercise box, or you may write it in any gadgets and then print it to direct that letter to a person or an organization to convey your message. So that is a letter. If you are clear with what is a letter, then let's see some importance of why should we learn letter writing. The first point is, it is an important life skill. Everyone has to write a letter at some point of your life. When we say letter writing is an important life skill, when you are a student, you need to write leave application to your class teachers, you need to write application to your principal. So letter writing is important. After you finish your studies, you need to apply for a job. Again, you write a job application to any organizations. Then you get into a job and then you wanted to ask for a leave. Then you write letter to your boss, or else you are in a job. Again, you need to sometimes write letter to an organization, to another office. That is why letter writing is a very important life skill. We write letter in our everyday life. Though sometimes we feel that letter writing is only the written form that you write in the olden days, but it is not like that. Let's say you are conveying a message in SMS to your friend, then there also it is an art of letter writing, because the date is already there in your mobile phone. Then the sender, since you know each other very well, then you have the sender's address there definitely, and you are writing something to convey your message. That is also a part of letter writing. The second importance of letter writing is it enhances your communication and social skills. When I say your communication skills, you express what you intend to convey. In that, when you are jotting down your emotions, when you are writing what you intend to write, your communication skill also improves. It enhances. Then you are writing to an organization, you are writing to an agent, you are writing to your friends, your social network is being enhanced. So letter writing is very important. The third is empathy. Again, it enhances your empathy. Let's say one of your friends, family member had expired. You write a condolence letter, and there, when you write the letter, you tend to write it very carefully, trying to empathize, trying to put into the shoe of that person. So in that way, your empathy level is also enhanced. So these are the importance of why all of us should learn the art of letter writing. If you all are clear, then let's see what is a formal letter. A formal letter is an official communication. We say it as formal, official, or business letter. It is an official communication in the written form. You write it to a corporation, you write it to an organization, and you even write it to higher authorities. You need to write sometimes to your superior authorities. Sometimes you need to write it to another organization. Sometimes you need to again write letter to agents, to corporations. All of this in a nutshell is a formal letter. Okay, if you are clear with what is a formal letter, then let's go on to the next type of letter. What could be the next type of letter? Definitely, the next type of letter is an informal letter. We often say an informal, personal, or friendly letter. An informal letter is a letter written to your parents, to your grandparents, relatives, or to your friends. An informal letter, sometimes we write to your brother, to your sister, grandparents, father, mother. Sometimes you write to your uncles, aunts, and friends. So this is an informal letter that you are writing. Now, if you are clear with what is a formal letter and what is an informal letter, let's see the format, the general features of a formal and an informal letter. First, the formal letter or official or business letter, we call it. Okay. Now, when you write a formal letter or an official letter, you might be having a piece of paper, or you might be writing in your notebook, or you might be writing it in your laptop or desktop. For that matter, on the top left hand side, first you will write the sender's address. Then you will keep one line space and then write the date. When you write the date, it should be in elaborated form, no shortcuts. Is it clear? Okay, then again, after keeping one line space, you will write the receiver's address. Then again, keep one line space and then you write the subject. The subject is very, very important. The subject is the main intent of your formal letter. Why? The reason why you are writing. So in this busy world, an organization does not have enough time to read all your letter from head to toe. Mentioning of the subject is very, very vital. They will see for what purpose you had written by looking at the subject. After the subject, you again keep one line space and then you write the salutation. Respected sir or respected ma'am. After that, you write the body part. The body part is divided into three paragraphs. The first one is the introduction, then you have the main body and the conclusion. Then after that, you subscribe, the subscription level, all on the left hand side of the page. If you are clear with the general features of a formal or an official letter, let's see the features of an informal letter. Now first, it is the same. You will write the sender's address again on the top left hand side. Then after the sender's address, you will keep one line space and you will write the date again in elaborated form. Then you will write the salutation. There is no subject in the informal letter. Then after the salutation, you will write the body, and body further is divided into three paragraphs. The first is the introduction, then you write the body part, and then you conclude it. After that, you write the subscription. So in this two types of features, our main emphasis is on the block form. Nowadays, we no more use indented form, but we are using the block form features and the format. Okay, if you are clear with the features of a formal and an informal letter, then I have an activity for you. Your letter must incorporate all the above features, the features of a formal letter and the features of an informal letter. Now activity 1, you are Sange from Tashidinka Middle Secondary School, but currently you are at home for the summer break. Write a letter to your father who is working at Thimphu. Tell him to come and meet you before you join the school from the midterm break. Okay children, what do you think could this activity be? Is it a formal or is it an informal letter? Definitely this is an informal letter because you are Sange and you are writing to your father. So when you write a letter to your father, to your friends, to your uncle, aunties, then that is an example of a informal letter. So this, the first activity, is an activity designed to write an informal or personal or a friendly letter. Then let's see the second activity. Imagine you are one of the boarding students. Write a letter to the principal asking for 2 days leave to attend an important religious ritual at your home. Definitely this is an activity designed for a formal or an official or a business letter. So you are a student, you are a boarding student and you are writing a leave letter asking for 2 days leave to attend an important religious ritual at your home. So the second one is an activity for a formal letter. Okay, I had designed a sample for informal letter with the activity that I had described, and as you can see it there, yes, the sample is very clear. Though the words are very small, your emphasis should be on the features. The left hand side, first you will write the sender's address, that is Gangkha Shengab Jimmy Geok Punaka. Though you are a student of Tashiding Middle Secondary School, presently you are on your midterm break, right? Okay, so Gangkha is the village, then you write the Geok and the Zongkak. Gangkha Shengab Jimmy Geok, then Punaka Zongkak. Okay, after you write the sender's address, you keep one line space and then write the date, 5th July 2020, let's say for that matter. Okay, so all in elaborated form. No more shortcuts, as I said to you earlier. Okay. Then after that, keep one line space and write the salutation. Dear Father. You are writing a letter to your father, asking him to come and meet you before you go to the boarding school. So we hope you are fine and doing well at your work. We all are fine at home. I spend most of the time helping mother with household chores and taking care of baby brother and feeding him when mother is at work. This is the introduction part. In the introduction part, you try to inquire how well is your father. Then you try to provide some general information of what you and your family are doing back at home. So in this letter, what you had written, you are helping your mother in doing household chores, and you are also taking care of the baby brother, feeding him while your mother is doing the work. That can be the introduction part. Okay? Did I make you all clear? Then let's see what is the body. The body is the main part of the letter here. In the body, what you will do is you will write what you intend to. In the activity, you saw that you want to write a letter to your father saying that please come and visit you, because after you join the boarding school, then you will not be able to meet your father who is working at Thimphu. That in the body part, you should write it in detail. Okay? Can you get a leave from your office for a few days, father? I know you are busy and struggling to earn for the family, but I would love if you could come and meet me before I go back to the school from my term break. I really miss you. I want you to come here and spend few days with us. Without you, the family is incomplete, and I want to spend some fun time with my whole family before I go to the hostel. Now here in the body part, as I read you the sample, you will be writing in detail why you want your father to come and meet you. Because without your father, the family is incomplete, and before you go to the boarding school after the midterm break, you wanted to spend with your family, with your father, mother, and with your siblings. So that is the main reason. Okay? And with that, again, the body is finished, then you conclude. Conclusion also, there is no more beating around the bush. You write it directly. Lastly, I hope you will be able to come home. So that is the conclusion part. After that, you thank your father, thanking you, your son, you sign it and write your name, Sange, let's see. That is the subscription part, okay? And one thing again here is that if you put comma in the dear father in the salutation part, then you should also follow that in the subscription. But it is always wiser and better that you don't use anything. It should be all uniform on the left hand side. Did I make you all clear? Okay, I hope so. And if you're clear with the sample for informal letter, let's see what is a formal letter. Now sample for formal letter, again in block form, and here the activity says that you're a student in Gesserling Higher Secondary School and you are writing a leave application to your principal asking for 2 days leave to attend a ritual at your home. Now here the sender's address, you are in class 10A, okay, Gesserling Higher Secondary School and Tagana. So from smaller to bigger, first your class, then you write the school, then you write the Dzongkhap. If you are sending to your friend overseas, then what you need to write is you need to mention your country also. That is also very important. Keep one line space and you write the date. you will write it in elaborated form. Okay, 27th March 2020. Keep one line space and write the receiver's address. Earlier in the sample for informal letter, we did not see the receiver's address. We sometimes don't write it because you already know the receiver. You are writing to your father. You are writing to your uncle, aunties. You are writing to your friends to whom you have close association. That is why we often don't write the receiver's address. But for formal letter, receiver's address is also important, because if you don't write the receiver's address, then the letter, the application for this matter will not reach to the principal. It might land somewhere. That is why receiver's address is very important. Okay, principal, Gesserling Higher Secondary School, Tagana. That is the receiver's address. Keep one line space. Then you write the subject. The subject here is the skeleton of the application that you are writing. Subject: request for leave. Now, your principal, after reading your application, he will directly see the subject, and then he will decide whether to grant leave or not, because the subject is reflected there. So, subject is very, very important. Subject: request for leave. Here it is all in, I had done it in bold letters, but if you are handwriting it, if you handwrite it, then you have to underline the subject. Then keep one line space, you salute it, you write the salutation: respected sir, respected ma'am. And the body further is divided into three parts. The first, again, introduction. No more beating around the bush, precise, clear, direct to the point. Okay, I, Kinley of 10A, would like to request leave for 2 days. So you, in the introduction part, you mention a brief account of why you are writing, but the detail should come in the body part. Now, after the introduction, you will write the body, and you will mention the reason in detail why you wanted to go for a leave. That is, a week-long religious ritual has been going on in my home, and tomorrow is the last day of the ritual to be performed. I know I will miss important lessons. However, it is very essential for all the family members to attend this. If not, one must at least attend the last day of the ritual. Now, in the body part, as I read, you should mention in detail why you wanted 2 days leave. You wanted to attend the ritual at least for the last day, because it is one of the important celebration at home, and you need to attend it. Then you conclude it, again direct and precise. Okay, so therefore I would be highly grateful if sir could grant me leave for 2 days. Then you conclude there, and complimentary closing. We have something called complimentary closing. There you thank with great anticipation. You can write it, sometimes thanking you. So that is the complimentary closing. And after that, you write the subscription. Yours faithfully, you sign and write your name. That is the general feature of a formal letter. Did I make you clear? Now, if you are clear with the sample for formal and the sample for informal letter, let's see some important points that you should keep in your mind while writing a formal letter and while writing an informal letter. First, the formal letter. A formal letter strictly follows the prescribed format for writing. This is a hard and fast rule. Whether we like it or not, we have to follow the prescribed format. As shown in the sample, you have to follow it. Then use of colloquial words, abbreviations and slang language should be restricted while writing a formal letter. You should not use all of this. Then a formal letter must be precise and to the point. No more beating around the bush. What you will do, you will write directly to the point. Why you wanted to write to that particular organization or to that particular corporation or an agent. So there it should be precise and to the point. No more flowery languages. Okay, you will not beat around the bush, but you will directly mention it. Precise and to the point. The subject line is very important in a formal letter. To re-emphasize on it, the subject line there is the main intent of why you are writing the letter. That is why the subject line is very, very important. Okay, now I also felt that some of the points that you again need to keep in your mind while writing an informal letter. An informal letter, also referred to as friendly or personal letter, are written to friends or relatives. So you write a personal letter to somebody whom you have close relation. I mean close non-professional relationship. That is why it is written in personal fashion. It follows a general pattern, though there is no hard and fast rule that you have to follow that, but it generally has a pattern as you have seen it in the sample, and it is always wiser for you to follow that general pattern. You can write it to anyone with whom you have a non-professional relationship. So if you keep these important points in your mind while writing a formal letter and while writing an informal letter, then I think the purpose is being served. Okay, my dear children, I hope you know now what is a letter. Then you also had seen the general features of a formal and an informal letter. Then I had designed two activities, one for the informal letter and one for the formal letter. With that sample, I think the lesson is clear. And finally, I had highlighted on some important points that you should keep in your mind while writing a formal, official or business letter, and some important points while writing an informal, personal or friendly letter. So with this, thank you for being a keen listener. I shall see you all again.